Hey, welcome to my latest project. This is my 1970 Chevy Nova, and ever since we moved in here, it's kind of been sitting in the garage. Before me and my nephews used to work on it every weekend. That's how we got the rest of it built. Um, it's a it's a running car. Turns on, runs, everything. Undercarriage and engine, drivetrain, everything's done. It really just needs interior and paint. Um, but like I said, ever since we moved here, we've been fixing up the house, doing other stuff, and it's kind of just been sitting here. I worked on it a little bit, but not how we used to. And I really didn't. I really didn't know why it's in here if I'm not gonna be working on it or using it or driving it. And obviously, we all know paint is really expensive. So, which brings me to this point. Um, I I'm more mechanical. I can do the engine stuff, that drivetrain stuff, you know, repair stuff. But body work, I really have no idea what I'm doing. Besides, um, repainting maybe a fender or a hood here and there as a hobby, it comes out decent. Uh, and I never really decided on a color for this car. I always kind of figured I would go like a darker charcoal gray. But again, I never really decided, and it's just been sitting here. And for me to get the body perfect, and paint it and do all that stuff, I know it was gonna come out probably okay, but I would have to do a lot of like paint corrections after. So what I've decided to do is do a camo paint job on it, and sort of like a Arctic camo. I'm going like white, black, red, and gray on it. And I guess I'm just gonna show you the process of what I've been doing. I have no idea what I'm doing or how it's gonna turn out at the end. I might not even like it and have to sand the whole thing off and just start all over. But regardless, I'll probably be further ahead than I was, because one of the things that is gonna come out of this, whether it comes out good or not, is all the imperfections in the body. So if that's the case, then I can address those as I get to them, or when I come out after. And either way, the body's gonna be in better shape at the end than now, and it'll be closer along to getting done. So that's the backstory. After I do the paint, I just have a few bits of the interior to get done, and the car will be done. At least I'll be able to drive it and enjoy it a little bit. So here's what I've been doing. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing. I just started doing it randomly, and hopefully it built from there. And I'm learning as I'm going. So hopefully once I get a little bit further along, I'll get a little bit of practice with it, and it'll be even better. So the first thing I did, so yeah, like I said, that's the backstory. So we'll get into it now, and we'll see how this comes out. I haven't really seen any like muscle cars like this with this type of paint scheme. So again, I might not even like it at the end, but we'll see. Okay. So the first thing I did was I got all these, the poster boards, and I cut out shapes. I got 3 poster boards. I cut them in half, and it seemed like a good size. And the idea was that I was just gonna tape these to the body just randomly and start painting it like a stencil. Which maybe it worked out fine for the first one, and yeah, I could probably do more. But once I got to the, like for example here, see, I did the first one there, and the edges didn't come out that great. And then if I left it on too long, like by the next day, the edge would stick to it. So now I gotta go back and sand the little edge. Not too much, just with a fine sandpaper. But the issue came in on the second one, because I needed like a fine line. I couldn't put this here because I wasn't taping it down. So see, like right here. Excuse me. So I wasn't taping it down, so I wouldn't be able to get a clean edge on the next one, on the next shape. So what I did is I got the inside part of the cutout, and I laid it on there and I taped that part out. So that's the same shape, and I get the fine lines. So that's where the next shape is. And then of course I gotta tape that off so I don't get no overspray on that, which is what I did here. This little piece is gray. See? It's gray. And then I taped that and did the next piece there. And so on. And then, so I got that top part, that one. I've just been practicing. I'll come out here at night and everybody's asleep and just start taping it up and painting. I can only do one color a day, so it could dry and I could tape it up for the next day. So it kind of works out. I'm out here a little while. Let's see, this is the back. And like here, after I tape this up to cover that so I could do the next spot, I take some 600 and I just sand this very lightly, and it leaves it clean and it takes all this overspray off. So this is what I did here. So you can still see a little bit over the overspray from this one, but I just sanded this whole area. I'm about to tape this up. This one, let me show you. So this is another one of the pieces. See, it doesn't really fit in here. So on a spot like this, I just have to just randomly tape it up. And here I kind of feel it, today I'm doing black. So I kind of feel this one, I'm gonna do a fairly big shape of black. Probably gonna do maybe one spot here, this big one, that one, and that one today. So that one's already taped up. I got a plastic inside, so that one's ready to go. It's sanded. It's sanded and cleaned with this. So is this one. So those two are ready. This one is sanded right now. I just gotta wipe it down with the prep ball, and then I'm gonna tape it first and then wipe it down again, and I gotta mask off these two colors. So let me do that, and then I'll put you guys back on right before I paint. I'll do these other two shapes. I'll do this one and this one, and then I'll show you guys before I start spraying. Okay, so I'm back. I taped up the next one. I also wanted to just show you which paint I'm using. The Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch, and all the colors, well, the white, Canyon Black, and Granite, all satin. I think another thing I wanted to explain was that at the end, once all this is done, I haven't got the red, but first of all, the other color that I'm going to include is a cherry red, also satin, but they were out at Home Depot, so I figured with these I got days of work to do anyway, so by the time I go back they should have some red, or not, I'll find another Home Depot that has it, but I wasn't too much in a rush. Okay, so here we go, and I just realized I forgot to tape one up. So that one's done. I just gotta tape this, cover this one, which I realized I didn't do, I don't know why. But this one, and then it's gonna be that big one. I'm still gonna do that one. That was just random because it's in the middle somewhere. And I'm gonna do that one, that, and that one. And then, like I said, this one is gonna be the black color today. And again, I'm not too worried if it gets overspray over here because I give it a light sanding right before I paint it anyways. At this point, I know I'm going through a lot of tape. I have rolls of this sheet, whatever it's called, just some cardboard sheet or some newspaper sheet. But yeah, that's just a waste too, so I'm using all these that we get in the mail. The tape is the biggest thing though. This is the second roll so far. Well, I just started this roll, but probably gone through about one roll so far, just with what I've done with the kind of laying it out and practicing. I think I mentioned this already, but I really don't care that I'm spending this time doing this, because what else was I doing at night? You know, right now it's 11 o'clock at night and I'd be on the phone or watching a movie or something. So I've been out here for a little bit over an hour. I probably got another less than an hour just to give this maybe 2 or 3 coats each. By the time I get to the last one, I come back and do the first ones again, and yeah, maybe like a good 30 minutes to an hour cleaning up and stuff. But so far I've gotten 4 rolls of these tapes, which are $4 each, 16 bucks, and these paints that are also $4 each, so 24 bucks, and then 2 more red. I don't know if I'm gonna need more. So far I've used maybe a little bit more than half of this one, the gray one. They still seem kind of full. This one covered way more than this one, obviously, so I didn't use as much paint of this one. We'll see how the black goes, but I'm not too worried about that. A paint job would cost me thousands and thousands anyway, so even if I do spend $200-300, it's nowhere near what I would be spending for a paint job. And yeah, mainly, like I said, the important thing is I just want to get this done, start driving the car. I don't want to just have it sitting here. We lived here 4 years already in this house, and I've taken it out in the driveway and driven it back and forth in the driveway. That's about it, and I don't think there's any point in doing that. So like I said, even if there is imperfections in the paint and anything, I don't mind. because it's better than just being in here. And so I know I've been talking through most of this, so let's get to it. I'm gonna tape up this top piece, and then we're gonna spray some shapes, and then after that we're gonna let it dry, and then we'll come back tomorrow night, and if I got some red, I got some red. If not, we'll do some other random shapes. I still haven't even touched the front fenders or the hood. The top just has this one shape, so I used to have all that rest of the canvas. I could do more white, more gray, more black, whatever. One of my goals is to come out here nightly, at least an hour or two. Even if I do one shape a day, it's still further along than the last 4 years. So I just want to get this done. So like I said, once I finish painting, I'm gonna remove the tape and call it a night. So thanks for watching. Thanks in advance for watching, and then I'll do tomorrow's video again, show you how this looks and whatever, if I think of any ways to, you know, make it a little bit more productive. If not, then we're just gonna keep going. Either way, this quarter panel is really getting covered up, a little bit more on the corner. I think I'm gonna remove the bumpers, and I gotta cover this engine so I won't get any overspray. I got some plastics, but yeah, let me tape this up. We'll get some paint on this, and then we'll move along. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I got that piece taped up, and so I think I'm gonna do this spot, open the door, do the inside there, work my way to the top, and then do the back ones and go all the way around like that. So I'm gonna paint with one hand and hold the camera with the other one. So if it's a little shaky, I apologize in advance. If it's been shaky, I apologize. I'm just doing this just to document what I'm doing. I'm not a professional videographer, so let me just get that out the way. So just if I can open this. Okay, and the one I'm using is Canyon Black Satin. I shook this up already off camera, so it's pretty good. I've been shaking it for a while, but I've been watching that. Okay. Sorry, I dropped all this stuff back here. Okay, so again on this one, I'm not too worried about overspray over here because there's no other colors on there yet. If I wasn't filming, I would just get a little piece of cardboard and hold it on the sides as I go along, just to minimize the overspray. Other than that, I'm not too worried about it because again, I'm gonna sand it. Oh, damn, this one covers really good. I think with this one, I have to worry more about drips because it covers it really, really good. See up here? A couple light sprays and it covered it. So I'm gonna leave that one. That actually was a lot of paint. Let me give you a better angle over here. That's the first coat. I'll probably do one more that'll cover it, and then one last one, one wet coat at the end. There'll be 3 coats total, It's been working out pretty good for the other parts. Yeah, I keep dropping shit in there. Okay, let me switch hands. Yeah, this black one covers a lot. I can see easily if I keep going, I'm gonna get drips. I'm trying to look at the camera and look where I'm spraying at the same time. If you have any suggestions or tips, let me know. Again, I'm barely starting this project. As you can see, there's a lot of primer, and this is just the first shapes. So if you have any ideas, I'm open to listening to them. Okay, that was kind of quick, so let me give it like 5 or 10 minutes to flash, and we'll give it the second one. Okay, I'm back. The second coat, it's been around 7 minutes. Well, 7 minutes since I did the last spot, so I guess more than 10, hoping around 10 since we did these first ones. So let's get back to it with the second coat. I'm gonna cover it a little bit more. Probably go, I did the first coat horizontal in the middle, so this one I'll probably go, I guess it's diagonal. I don't know. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It's really tempting to just keep going over and over it, to just cover it more and more, but you have to have a little bit of control because then you don't want it to drip. Switch hands to this. spot over here. Sorry if I'm not filming the greatest. I'm trying to, like I said last time, trying to look where I'm filming and look where I'm spraying. So I apologize if I swing it over a little bit. On the trunk and hood and roof, you can kind of get away with spraying it a little bit more because it's flat. It's not really going to run. But on the sides, yeah, you got to have a lot more control because it'll easily run. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of runs on this one. So I got to sand that whole one off and do that one again. Okay, that's the second coat. Let me let this dry a good 10 minutes and we'll give it one last wet coat, a good one, and that'll be it for today. See, I haven't even touched this side yet at all, but each spot that I do is one spot closer to getting done. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the reason I'm doing satin is once all this is done and I'm happy with the way it came out and I like all the shapes and everything, I am going to give the whole car a clear, in a satin clear. Satin or matte clear, just so it can all be even. I could wash it and, you know, wax it or whatever I want to do after. But that's the reason I went with satin. I am going to clear it all. And that's another reason why I didn't want to do Plasti Dip or do a vinyl camel, is because I want to be able to just clear it and, you know, clay it and all that fun stuff. I like doing that. It's just like a relaxing to me to clay it and polish it. Well, can't polish matte, but you know, to clay it, take care of it, and I do want to do that, you know, spend the weekend cleaning it. So I'm gonna give it a full clear coat at the end. There's a booth that you can rent it by the hour, like 5 minutes from here. So once all this is done and I'm happy, I'm gonna take it into that booth and just clear the whole thing in a matte or satin clear, and that'll even out all the edges, I think. But meanwhile, I'm going to probably have to paint another little test pad, like a test piece of metal, and just put these, like the lines from where one paint is on the other one, because there's that little ridge from the tape on every one. When I tape it, for example, tonight I'm gonna take this tape off, and then there's gonna be the little edge. So tomorrow, rather than taping it on the edge, because it's really hard, I tape it a little bit from here. It'll be a little bit to the left and leave a little bit of a ridge. So when I sand this one to do the next color, I sand down that little edge, just so it won't be too much later. And then when I do the test sample on another just scratch piece of metal, I'm gonna see if at the end I can sand the whole thing with like a 1,000 or a 2,000 grit sandpaper to bring it all down flat, and then clear the whole thing so it can be flat. But I'm gonna test it on a scratch piece of metal first before I do it on this. If not, then I guess I'll just clear it over and try to even it out with that, but I don't want to make it exaggerated thick. Yeah, so let me give this a couple more minutes and we'll do the last coat. Okay, it's been over 10 minutes. I was shaking this can off camera, and we're gonna give it the last one. It's covering pretty good, as you can see. So one last good coat should do it. So let's get to it. It's already 12:13. So a little bit past midnight. Today is July 29th. July 29th or 30th now, because it's after midnight. But okay, so there's this. Okay, that one came out pretty good. That one came out pretty good. Let's try to keep the momentum going. So it looks like no runs, which that's what I'm going for, but with the black and the okay, covering pretty good. So 3 more spots. That's pretty good. Nice, even. Probably used about half the can. You could tell the satin on, I don't know if you could tell on camera, but yeah, just a little bit. You can tell the satin. We're coming out pretty good. Okay, that looks pretty good too, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't wanna, it looks good, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. Nice and even. Just leave it alone. Tempted to keep going, but that's what ruins things. Okay, so that's it for today. This is the third night I've been working on this, so I'm gonna start taking the tape off of that. And tomorrow, day 4. Before I start anything, I'll show you what it looks like with 3 colors so far, and then we'll see what I decide to do tomorrow. But so far it looks good. See, let me try to take off one piece here. Okay, so this piece, no. Just show the guys, because then you'll know out there Radio Land when the elderly broad makes her next appearance on the club. Well, I have vaginal sex with my I'm trying to just get to the. He is a bit bitter, but uncomfortably so. I like to suck on him. Okay, so this one is where the 2 colors meet. Especially enjoys that. I have anal sex with the miniature stallion. He penetrates me, and it's... okay, I thought he was talking about like he fucks the miniature stallion up the ass, but no, apparently... Okay, so you can see there's where the 2 colors meet. And yeah, this is gonna get sanded off. Which, in a way, I think it's gonna be good. Because, you know, if there's any tiny little scratches or tiny little pinholes that I missed in the bodywork, this color should fill that in lightly. Like I said, I'm still gonna sand this part once this is dry and I tape that off. But that's the first, as you can see, the first place where the 2 colors meet for the black. And so far it looks pretty good. Tomorrow, I think, if I don't get the red, I'm probably gonna do another round of white. I think before anything, I'm gonna remove all the door handles, the bumpers, the backlights, and I'll put the hood back on so I can do more shapes in one round. So like today I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots today. If I tape it off and do the hood and the fenders, I'll maybe try to get 10, and it'll move it along much faster. And so that'll be my goal for tomorrow. But yeah, tomorrow I'll sand this so you can see what it looks like with all this. But as you can see, the black covers really good. The white, not so much. You gotta give it more coats, which is why I went through most of the can. But that's what those 2 colors look like. And I'm gonna take off the rest, but I'll show you that tomorrow. How on here, there's a white, a gray, and the black now. all together. So you'll be able to see that tomorrow, and then the rest of the spots. So thank you for watching. I know this was kind of a long video because of the introduction and the the first steps of me practicing. um, as of now, I can't think of any other way to be more efficient at this. um, but like I said, it's just more time than anything, and more time. And the only thing, like I said, I'm wasting really is the tape, because I keep taping and taping and taping and taping. um, but if you have any ideas, let me know. um, Either way, it's a good amount already. But thank you for watching. Have a good night. And here's another angle. Yeah. I like the two colors. I really like this granite. This granite gray is, it's a nice color. But again, I'm just gonna end it here because it's getting long. And thank you for watching. And hope to see you tomorrow for this third day. So for day 4 tomorrow of this project adventure. All right. Good night.